Hello Gemini, welcome to the channel. It's Chrissy Sawyer here, or welcome back if you're an existing sub. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to do things a little bit differently this month, and I'm going to, because we've got all this Piscean energy and some real breakthrough energy with Pluto hovering and stripping away the mask of illusion. I thought I'd do a reading that would lean into that. So a few cards for internal landscape, a few cards for external landscape, a couple of archetype cards that are carrying the energy, and then what you can surrender to. So let's get straight in. There's some beautiful energy here for you, Gemini. So it looks like you are in a huge download, really high vibing download. So the light body is being activated and upgraded and expanded, and that's going to feel some kind of way depending where you are on your path. Okay, so energetic upgrades, a new way of being, and integration. Integration takes time, it has to be honored. Direct phone call. Answer the damn phone. You might be getting glimpses of what your soul is calling you to do. You might even be able to start hearing the soul song emerging through the throat into the voice. It might surprise you. You might hold it back. You might love it and set it free. Depends where you are on your path. In the non-physical reality, you have a team of helpers. And you haven't gotten here lightly. You've been working for this. I want to say, what part of this don't you trust? Okay, so you're being nudged now into truly manifesting that path, the aligned self, the God self, the divine self, the source code self, call it what you want. Now, this is no mean feat. Creating heaven on earth starts in the personal. So it starts internally, and that's through balancing everything that's in conflict, finding inner resolution, like having a G8 summit with all your different aspects, bringing them into peace and reconciliation and harmony until it just feels gorgeous to be with you. So it's falling in love with yourself. That's how you create heaven on earth. Then that starts to show up in your world. Then it starts to show up in the collective, and out and out and out we go. Creating heaven on earth has to start within. This is interesting. So it looks like there's some divine feminine work you're being called to do for yourself. And if it helps to do it in the cognitive, just grab a pen and some paper and ask yourself, well, firstly, how do you mother yourself? And secondly, how can you mother yourself? Okay, how would you like to? Forget parents. If you're a mother already, forget how you're doing it already. In your inner ideal state, how would you mother yourself? And just move into that energy that will support this activation and upgrade. Okay, it will bring in that powerful feminine energy. Okay, so internally, big stuff happening. Big stuff happening. And in the external, there's a little bit of resistance I can see. And there's definitely a call. You are definitely being called in the external world to come to the edge of your world, the edge of your known world, what you've already done, what you've already learned, what you can now let go of and turn into wisdom and bring beginner mind to. Okay. So coming to the edge might literally be something like learning to say no. If you're not a person that readily says no, it can be that small, but inside it might feel big. Okay, so we're building the new. We are building heaven on earth. And in that, to quote a card in one of my many decks, no is a complete sentence. And that's just an example. It might not be that, but come to the edge where the resistance is, where it's going to be very easy to stay in your comfort zone. No place like home. There's no place like home. Accept that. But that needs a but at the start of it. But there's no place like, yeah, you've done that. You've done that. It's time to get uncomfortable. Get comfortable feeling uncomfortable. Okay, so there's a bit of a dare in your external world. It's a bit of a dare. But what will help you more than anything is, to breathe, but to take your time and breathe, to stop and pause and breathe, to be quiet and breathe. And that will help tune you into that inner voice, which you came in with. It's waking up now. And then to listen to what you're being invited to do, where you're being invited to go. You'll hear it. It will rise up within you. Breathing and really focusing the mind and sitting in the heart space is such a beautiful, that's when you're in your CEO, that's when you're building your world, sitting in the heart space. And this for me is before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. And for me, it's almost like I can hear that there's a fear of, but if I step into all of this activation and expansion, will it change me so noticeably that, and you can finish that sentence, will I become a different person? You'll become more of yourself. If you consider that different, then yes. But you'll become more rounded, more whole, more independent, less needy, full. Truthful. But this is where you're going. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to be sat on an egg holding a star? Under a waterfall of rainbows. Who doesn't want that? That's where you're going. Wait to see the archetypes that are supporting you. And I don't get a trace of shadow energy with the archetypes. I just get all in the light. So you have the poet and the priest. The poet, in their light, expresses soul insights in symbolic language. The poet can hide the esoteric in plain sight. The poet can use poetry to speak the most uncomfortable truth, the most vulnerable truth. Poets change the world. And I'm not saying go and learn how to write poetry. I'm saying how you communicate is your poetry, it's your soul song. And in this expansion and upgrade, it's going to change. You'll hear it, it's going to change, but you're supported by the archetype of the poet. So when you sit in the heart, just connect with that poet energy and move that energy up. And the priest energy facilitates. So here we have the container to move you through any doubt that you've got, to integrate this expansion that's going on for you. Facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. So are you moving into being a messenger for the divine? Is it as simple as that? Are you becoming clairaudient? Are you able to hear what's around you? Are you able to hear your inner voice? Because it's all going to change. There's a real invitation here. Well, there's no louder invitation to come to the edge. So in the psyche, you'll know where the uncomfortable spots are, and just taking love to them. You know, if you're coming from the heart space and you want to say, go and sit with dread's a big one. Fear of change, that's a big one. Telling the truth, that's a big one. Disappointing others, that's a big one. Just find one of those and take your poetry to it, and take the priest, the facilitating priest, to it, and love it. Just love it. I had to giggle. Your surrender, wah, wah, wah. Surrender to trust. Because I'm sorry, but Star Mother, building heaven on earth, divine orchestration, answer the soul call, and awakening. What part of that do you not trust? And answer that question for yourself. What part of me does not trust all of this? Surrender to trust. Do you trust yourself and your decisions? Do you? Are you swayed by other people's strong opinions about what you do, think, say, feel? Can you take action and be confident that you've chosen the right path? Because there is no right path. There is only the experience, and you can take 58,000 paths and have 58,000 different experiences. It's only when you step back and when you look back that you'll see hindsight is the only perfect science. So, yeah, train your trust, move into this expansion, and negotiate with your comfort zone. Negotiate with it lovingly. Gemini, wow, fantastic. Yeah, bring your magic. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you maybe later on in the month, whatever. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, because I love your comments. Lots of love.